Welcome back to KSN News at 4. A couple weeks ago, KSN packed up our cars. We hit the road to take a tour across the state. KSN's Jason Lamb met an author from Goodland who's been crisscrossing the state since mid-April, hosting presentations about Kansas history.
That's right, and she's been promoting her new book, Secret Kansas, a guide to the weird, wonderful, and obscure. I caught up with Roxy Yonke at her latest stop last night in Winfield. Inside the Winfield Public Library, Roxy on the road is ready to educate and inspire.
Oh my gosh, I've lost track of how many stops I've made on my book tour. Oh, give me a home where the...
Her presentation begins with what else? The singing of Home on the Range.
Home on the range.
Followed by the song's backstory and the Home on the Range cabin near Smith Center. Then she gets into her new book, which begins with the story of Father Emil Kapaun.
What more rare and wonderful can you get than a man who is a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient and on the path to become a saint?
Yonke enjoys finding little stories that most people don't know about.
Well, I learned that a 13-year-old kid from Cherryville named Frank Bellamy wrote the Pledge of Allegiance, and a man named Francis Bellamy stole the authorship credit.
Her new book is packed with so many stories. Did you know Mentholatum was born in Wichita?
Yeah, who knew? I didn't know that.
Roxy includes stories about such things as this mural on a grain elevator here in Wichita. Titled The Original Dream, it's in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest acrylic mural painted by a single artist. Just down the river from the Keeper of the Plains is a 7-foot-tall troll caged below a metal grate.
It's like, here's this troll. Well, when I got to Secret Kansas, what is more secret than a sculptor who's underneath the ground and you can only see through a grate and nobody really tells you where he is?
Then there's the story of Great Bend's Jack Kilby, whose statue sits in front of the Barton County Courthouse. He's credited with inventing the integrated circuit, or the microchip.
Yeah, it changed the world.
So what is so inspiring about Kansas?
Well, Kansas is kind of like an onion. You know, you get the onion, you peel off the paper, and you keep peeling. There's more and more and more and more layers. And sometimes they make you cry. Sometimes Kansas makes you cry from tears of joy, KU wins again, or sadness, tornadoes, grasshopper plagues, drought, bleeding Kansas, you name it. We've had it, but we still power through ad astra per aspera.
I love that. Now, Roxy is planning 3 more books. Historic Kansas Roadsides will be out in October. Amazing Kansas is due in April, and she's planning a book about 34 Kansas women. Why 34? Well, Kansas was the 34th state to enter the Union, and Dwight D. Eisenhower was our 34th president. So why not a book about 34 outstanding Kansas women?
And the neat thing, I know you're from Kansas, and there were a lot of things in that book and in that story you said I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. I've got both of her books that have been out, and they're a lot of fun to read. There's a lot of great stories in there.
That's wonderful, Jason. Thank you so much.